Get out of here, bro.
Yeah, he's gone, bro.
He just.
Hello, guys. My name is Jose Ortiz. I will be your interviewer today. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves, starting from the right to the left.
My name is Caleb Rankin.
I'm George Reese.
I'm Jacob Paulino.
So today's subject for the interview is 1960s British gangs. The theme of the interview is drama and action. Some opening questions for you guys. Starting off with, how do you feel about Great Britain personally? Starting from the right to the left once again.
I feel Britain is a cool place. It has a lot of historical landmarks that come with it, a lot of deep history, and yeah, it's very appealing.
I think very similarly, it had a lot of influence on the common world, modern world. I meant to say, they really influenced a huge part of the world, especially English-speaking countries. I think so. Yeah, it's cool.
I feel like Great Britain has inspired many movies in the making, like James Bond and King Kong, and I feel that there's more influence to come.
Great responses. How do you think life was back in the 60s in Britain?
I feel life was probably more harsher. Money was more scarce, worrying about more family problems and trying to get associated with how life is starting to come about. I feel that's how it was more back then.
Yeah, I think there was a lot harsher working conditions, especially for kids. The working age was 12 or something. They could make them more money for the family, but then again, it's not a lot of money because it's child labor.
There was poverty, but the prices were certainly a lot different than now. Everything's a lot more expensive, and back then it was just the beginning of things.
Okay, so knowing how gangs are in today's world, how do you think gangs operated during those times?
Gangs probably started up very slowly, probably with a couple of people starting to get together like a family and wanting to protect a certain area of a neighborhood or community, just to help better things out, help bring money into the community, and try to again come up better in the civilization that we're living in.
Yeah, leeching off Caleb, I think a lot of these neighborhoods had deep roots in poverty, and it was mostly friends and family trying to bring their friends up, their family and everything, so they're not lower in society.
I feel like it could be interpreted in many ways. There could be people that want gangs out of respect, and there could be people that also want protection from that. Maybe there's some dangerous people that they're hiding from, and that's what gangs could be used for.
In your own personal opinions, how do you think, if you had a gang back then, or even in today's world, how do you think you would operate those, or what would be your motive to starting a gang?
If I had a motive to start a gang, probably wouldn't, but it would be to better my siblings, to better my family, to help around me if it needs help.
I'd probably use the corruption to bring myself forward and my family, but it's mostly about you at that point if you're starting that. But then again, that's a gang, which considers your family and your friends, so probably just to bring up the community.
If I had to start a gang, it would probably be my last resort. If I had nothing left, if I had nothing left to lose, because that's the best way to do it.
And do you think normal civilians understood those reasonings back then?
I feel like yes, until it came to the police and law enforcement, but regular citizens, I would say, yeah.
I think it would really depend if those gangs were actually doing crimes against normal civilians or against like huge corporations. Because at that point, there's like a Robin Hood mentality. They're not like actually going out of the way to screw over civilians, and they're just taking money from the rich.
I would say definitely not. I don't think civilians understand how gangs work, because if you look at it, how Americans are, no one really understands that, and they just think they're just flat out ghetto, and then they just do it because they want to. No, there's always a
Motive.
there's always a reason to do something. Maybe they grew up that way.
I do agree with that.
Well, why do you think people think gangs are bad?
I mean, it has to be a lot of the background, like
It's definitely the bigger bad crowd that's putting the impact on that. But that's mostly what it is. It's a bunch of just nastiness.
But again, there's a motive behind everything.
But there is good ones and people that want to do it for their families,
I feel
and that's
like-
what we're doing this on.
I feel like people think gangs are bad because they don't because all they see is the crime. When you look at the news, when you look at everything, when you look at the papers back then, you always see massive shootings, crimes, robberies. That's all you see, but you don't see the image behind it. Maybe they want the money. Maybe they robbed you because they can't get anything themselves.
Right, then that just like switch it back to like another perspective. Maybe they need like surgery for their mom or something, and they don't have another motive to make the money.
Yeah.
So just do that or let your mom die.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this concludes our interview. Thank you for your time and for your responses. You're free to go.